Today we're taking a look at these WNBA matches, which are happening on Sunday, September 19, 2021, and giving you match breakdowns, betting tips and predictions in general on these games. Welcome back to High Stakes, let's get straight into it. Also, don't forget to subscribe to get notified as soon as we release these sport prediction videos, and if you would like more betting tips and predictions, then check out our Patreon in the link down below. Our new Patreon is a way for us to help you improve your chances of making more money. 5 plans are available for each and every one of you. You can get 30 extra betting picks all the way up to 270 extra betting picks per month. Stop wasting hours of your time searching for bad betting advice that ends up costing you a lot of money. Join the High Stakes Patreon now and get the best betting picks and advice. Indiana Fever vs Chicago Sky. Indiana on the season has managed to get a total of 75 points per game. The Fever have been led in the scoring by Kelsey Mitchell, who has managed to get 17 points per game and has shot at a clip of 41.9%. The Fever have managed to get 16.6 assists per game and have seen 3.7 assists from Danielle Robinson. Cleaning up the missed shots for the Fever has been the job of Tiara McCown, who has 9.6 number boards per game, but the Indiana team has pulled down 34.4 boards per game. Our first betting advice is to pick Chicago Sky. Azura Stevens ended up being a factor for the Sky in this game. She made 7 out of 8 in the matchup for a field goal rate of 87.5% and accounted for 1 rebound. Stevens racked up 18 points in her 2009 mins on the hardwood but didn't record an assist. An additional player that ended being a contributor for Chicago was Candace Parker. She wrapped the game up with 5 assists in her 26-0-0 mins on the court, and she shot 5 out of 12 from the floor. Parker ended the game having shot 41.7% from the floor, in addition to notching 12 points and 11 rebounds. Our second betting advice is to pick over Los Angeles Sparks vs Dallas Wing. As a team, Dallas has put in a total of 80.9 points per game. Arika Gunboyle has shot at a clip of 37.7% on the year and has ended up getting 18.7 points per game. Gunboyle leads in passing as well with 3.3 assists per game. The passing for Dallas is sitting at 17.4 assists per game. Rebounding for Dallas is sitting at 36.5 boards per game for the Wings. Isabel Harrison is the leader for Dallas in the rebounding with 6 boards per game. Our first betting advice is to pick Dallas Wings. Brittany Sykes is one player who was a major contributor for this contest. She racked up 17 points on 5 of 12 shooting. She was on the court for 37-42 mins played and collected 3 rebounds. Sykes went 41.7% from the field and dished out 3 assists. An additional player that was a major contributor in the game for the Sparks was Tech Cooper. She snagged 1 rebound in her 33-51 minutes on the basketball court. She finished shooting 45.5% from the field for the matchup by connecting on 5 of 11, 14 points. When the game finished, Cooper accounted for 2 assists. Our second betting advice is to pick over Minnesota Lynx vs Washington Mystics. Nafisa Collier is the leading scorer for Minnesota with an average of 16.2 points per game, while Sylvia Foles is the second leading scorer and leading rebounder, with averages of 16.1 points and 10.0 rebounds per game. Laishia Clarendon is the leader in assists with an average of 5.7 per game. Minnesota has 5 players averaging double figures in scoring. Our first betting advice is to pick Minnesota Lynx. Natasha Cloud was important for the Mystics for the contest. She buried 6 out of 11 in the matchup, giving her a field goal percentage of 54.5% and had 6 rebounds. Cloud scored 16 points in her 37-36 mins on the court and totaled 8 dimes for the matchup. An additional player that ended being a contributor for Washington was Tina Charles. She walked away with 5 assists in 36-03 minutes played, and she put in 10 of 19 from the field. Charles ended the game having shot 52.6% from the field, while also earning 31 points and 10 boards. Our second quick reminder, Bovada is an online sportsbook and casino established in 2011. The platform offers betting on all major sport and horse racing leagues. It has slots, table games, blackjack, and a variety of other casino games. All of the major US leagues are available for betting, including the NFL, NBA, NHL, MLB, and PGA. In addition, Bovada allows wagers on esports, Olympic events, soccer, cricket, boxing, cycling, and many more competitions. Join Bovada now using our link down below and get access to all sorts of premium sport welcome bonuses after signing up and making your first deposit. Las Vegas Aces vs Phoenix Mercury. Brittany Griner is the leading scorer and rebounder for Phoenix, with averages of 20.8 points and 9.5 rebounds per game. The second leading scorer and leader in assists is Skylar Diggins-Smith, with averages of 18.1 points and 5.2 assists per game. Diana Taurasi is the third leading scorer with an average of 15.2 points per game, but set out Friday's loss to Seattle and is questionable for Sunday. Our first betting advice is to pick Las Vegas Aces. A'ja Wilson is a player who was a major contributor for this contest. She scored 21 points on 8 of 18 shooting. She was on the court for 39.00 minutes and collected 12 rebounds. Wilson finished shooting 44.4% from the field and totaled 1 assist. One more player that was a major factor in the game for the Aces was Rakuna Williams. She pulled down 1 rebound in her 30.04 minutes on the basketball court. She finished the contest at 41.7% from the floor in the game by going 5 of 12, 16 points. At the conclusion of this game, Williams had 2 assists. Our second betting advice is to pick under Atlanta Dream vs Connecticut Sun. Courtney Williams is the leading scorer, leading rebounder and leader in assists with averages of 16.5 points, 6.9 rebounds and 4.1 assists per game. The second leading scorer is Tiffany Hayes with an average of 15.3 points per game, while Cheyenne Parker is the third leading scorer with an average of 10.2 points per game and one of just 3 active players for Atlanta averaging double figures in scoring. Our first betting advice is to pick Atlanta Dream. Jonquil Jones pitched in for the Sun for the game. She converted 8 of 13 in the game for a rate of 61.5% and added 13 rebounds. Jones accumulated 18 points in her 28-52 mins on the hardwood and had 4 dimes for the game. One more player that ended being a contributor for Connecticut was Duana Boner. She left the arena with 4 dimes in 25-48 minutes on the hardwood and she shot 6 of 11 from the field. Boner ended the game having shot 54.5% from the field while earning 18 points and 4 rebounds. Connecticut has a win-loss record of 25-6 so far this season. Connecticut has scored 2,467 PTS this season, 79.6 per game, and they average 36.2 boards per game. The Sun have committed 17.8 fouls per game and they go 81.5% from the free throw line. On the offensive side of the court, the Sun are shooting 44.6% from the floor, which is ranked 5th in the WNBA. Our second betting advice is to pick under. Good luck to all of you. That's it for this video. Stay tuned and stay safe for the next betting tips and advice.